Episode 34 4 Stages of Skill Acquisition.
Hi everyone. In the last episode, I was discussing about the relevance of skill. All of us have equal amount of time. All of us have 60 minutes an hour, 60 seconds a minute, and that is fixed 7 days a week, 168 hours a week. There is no difference between us. But what we produce in a unit of time depends upon what type of skill we have, what knowledge we possess. Our skill set will decide the productivity of our time. You may recall some time back I said there is no such thing as time management. The whole issue revolves around personal productivity. Absence of a specific skill at a particular point of time will be a major handicap. What happens if you do not know to type? What happens if you do not know how to drive a car? What happens if you do not know how to communicate effectively? What happens if you do not know how to lead a team? Knowing is different, skill is different. You may read a book on time management. You may read a book on leadership effectiveness. You may read a book on speed reading. Knowing the basic principle of speed reading is different, but really reading a book very fast is different. The gap between knowledge and skill will decide the gap between low and high productivity. Knowledge becomes a skill when it is practiced. For example, somebody would have taught us how to ride a bicycle. Maybe somebody would have spent an hour with us. In that 1 hour, we would have understood how to ride a cycle, how to get onto a cycle, how to ride a cycle without falling down. All this we would have understood. But that gives only the basic fundamental knowledge. The number of hours we spend in cycling, in getting onto a cycle and falling down, getting up again and riding a cycle without falling, that is acquisition of skill. In my intensive Ignite workshop, which is a 12-hour drill from morning 8 o'clock to night 8 o'clock, I explained to the participants through various games what does it mean to acquire a skill. I play a lot of games. The participants try it out, but they give up. But some participants persevere during breaks like lunch break and tea break, and at the end of the day, come and demonstrate exactly what they are supposed to do. This is acquisition of skill. In order to acquire a skill, you need to assign a very high value for that skill acquisition portfolio. If you are not committed, if you are not spending enough time, you cannot acquire any skill for that matter. There are 4 stages of skill acquisition. I want you to take a piece of paper and write down these 4 stages. Stage number 1 is called unconscious incompetence. Competence is the quality of being competent. When you say that you are competent, which means that you are having a required skill, knowledge, qualification or capacity. I will explain this stage 1 of unconscious incompetence. Let's say that you are about 2-year-old. You did not know how to ride a bicycle. You never felt guilty about it because you were unconscious that such a competency existed, such a skill existed. As you grew up, you found one of your friends riding a bicycle. At this time, you did not ride a cycle, but you come to know that such a skill existed. This is a stage 2, conscious incompetence. Please write it down, conscious incompetence. That means you become conscious of a skill called cycling. Then what did you do? You wanted to ride a cycle. What did you do? You went and asked someone to teach you cycling, borrowed a cycle, and he taught you cycling, and you started cycling with a lot of fear. Then you get into the 3rd stage called conscious competence. Make a note of it. Stage number 3 is conscious competence. Stage 1 is unconscious incompetence, which means you were not conscious about the existence of a skill. Stage 2 is you became conscious, but still you did not know to ride a bicycle. Stage 3 is a conscious attempt to practice a new skill. You are afraid you may fall down, but still you persevered. The level of this perseverance is decided by your level of commitment to learn the new skill. Over a period of time, you perfected the skill. That is stage number 4, unconscious competence. That means you have become competent, but you are unconscious that you know the skill. At this stage, you do many things unconsciously. For example, when to apply the brake, when to speed up, when to slow down, all these things becomes part of your nature. This is because of your perseverance and the quality of practice. Remember, if you want to become world class, you should possess world class skill. If you want to become world class, you should possess the world class knowledge. So world class knowledge and skill is very important to put you on the map of the world. Is there a secret formula, a standardization, a thumb rule to become world class? Wait for my next episode. I'm going to give you an amazing concept called deliberate practice.
முறையில் தெளிவாய் கற்க நீ வா. கல்வியோடு கலைகள் அனைத்தும் எழிலாய் கற்க நீ வா. ABS விண்ணை தோட தன்னை தரும் ABS வெற்றி தரும் மார்க்கம் ABS சுற்றும் உலகின் உச்சம் காட்டும் ABS வித்யாலயா.
தரமான மெட்ரிக் பாடத்திட்டத்துடன் ABS வித்யாலயா திருவள்ளூர்.
Vidya